Welcome to the second Coffee with Linda. Hi, guys.
Hi, Linda.
Wow. Okay, now you're closer. I love it. How was last night? Right? Okay, how about the fact? Good morning. Look how nice and love you guys look. That sounds great. The day is young. We'll see. Gosh, this has been so much fun, and today is going to be I have some more friends. Because yesterday was awesome. We had friends, and now we have new friends. And I wanted to start today with, again, if anybody has any questions that they ever want to know about Melissa, I'll ask what ones I can. And then I might have a few questions for you guys. So we'll pretend I'm Carol Burnett. Who's got a question? Oh, see, this is the part of the nightmare where nobody raises their hand. And then I pretend, and then Paul pretends to be, yes, love.
Are you gonna do any more series like Nurse Jackie or anything like that?
Thank you. You know, I did TV for so many years, and I love television. And you know, Nurse Jackie was such an amazing experience. And I decided that if I'm going to, because when you do a television show, it takes your life away from your life. You know, we shot in New York, and I did post-production and everything there, so it's like 8 months out of my life. So for 4 years in a row of that, I wanted to go back to California, and I realize now that I've been married almost 5 years. Thank you. That you know, if I'm going to, it has to be really important for me to spend time away from the family. So I decided I'm going to make television around my family. So we are doing a docu-series of what Melissa's doing with Etheridge Farms and medicinal cannabis. Awesome. And yes, so. It might be a Netflixy thing that you will see what we're doing and the medicine show and the music, all of it. That's what I want to capture for the world to see. So that's what I'm doing next. So how about that?
Where is the farm?
Actually, well, it's our operations are up in Santa Cruz, California. And what's great is our partners, Jozee and Cricket. Where are you guys? There they are, right there. Hi, and their beautiful family. They're going to come talk. Those are some of our guests today. Because I know people are like my mom, tell me about CMD. I go, well, first of all, it's CBD. She still thinks I'm with the CIA, and I said, no, I'm with CAA. That's an agency, not the CIA. Never mind. So there's so many questions about CBD and the medicine that we started to talk about in the last couple of cruises, so we're going to talk today about that too. So yes, thank you for that question.
Do you have any samples?
My dream is someday to have a wellness cruise. Because I quit drinking back in '89. So I mean, nothing against anybody who's drinking. I'm just saying, some of us, like my beautiful wife, which is why she is one of those rare rock stars. You know, when I met her, I thought she was supposed to be a big drunk with all the lyrics about alcohol and stuff. She used to joke, you know, rock stardom is wasted on her because she is so boring. I've never seen her finish a whole beer, which the ex-drinker in me is like, what's the matter with you? She doesn't drink, do anything. What you see now is 15 years cancer-free, and she is, yeah, right? She is made of water, cannabis, sleep, less stress. So yeah, that's the big conversation we're going to have on that. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Could you tell us the story of how you and Melissa first met?
Well, no, we're all done for the day. Okay, so in 2001, I was an executive producer for that '70s show. I don't know if you guys know that show. Hi, Tracy. Now I see you and Chris. Hi, you guys. So '70s show, and it was 4 years of that. At the end, they said we want to do that '80s show, and so I created that '80s show. 4 people saw it, but anyway, part of the show was there was a record store owner, and I needed somebody who I wanted somebody iconic to be sort of the, you know, the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this record store. And I thought, oh my God, will Melissa Etheridge ever come in? I think she's badass, and she's amazing, and she should be on television. and she came in, and she was amazing. I'll never forget the moment I met her, and she heard she was meeting with the showrunner, and she thought that meant the person who got coffee. So I was like, "Hi, I'm Linda Wallem," and she's like, "Hi, I'm the showrunner." And she's like, "Oh, she's gonna get me coffee," and so come with me. And then she was like, "Well, wait, you took me into a meeting with all these important people, and then you walked me on the set," because I took her on the set. We were shooting 70 show at the time. I needed to do a makeup I needed to put her on tape for the network, and so the whole time she kept thinking I was the coffee getter. So anyway, tease her about that now, because I like to give her grief. So that's how we met. And so she came in, and it didn't work out because of her European schedule in 2001. But I said to her management, "Look, I think she's amazing. Her energy should be on TV. It's egoless, and it's very rare to get that on television. And if she ever wants to do TV, I'd love to meet her." And the next week we had lunch, and then literally I was in a relationship, she was in a relationship, and we became best friends. We were best friends then for the next 9 years, and and I'm so grateful to, I woke up one day as a TV producer going, I was supposed to have kids. What happened? I'm surrounded by all these scripts of pilots that we didn't make. So for my life to come together and to have these kids that I've grown up with. I mean, Becca Bailey and Johnny Rose and Miller they've been in my life forever. I've been Aunt Linda, so now I'm Mama Linda. They're my bonus kids, so I'm very blessed, very blessed. Okay, I have a question. I want someone to tell, because this is one of my favorite questions to ask you guys. I just want someone, we'll do this every day, but who here wants to tell me the very first time they heard Melissa's music or saw her in concert and what that meant?
I was her roadie in 1980.
What?
I live in Long Beach, and I used to go to the K every week to see her. Me and my partner would go to see her every week. And when
Long Beach Pride asked her to headline, she asked a bunch of us at the K to roadie for her and do the background because she was freaking out.
Amazing.
It was the first Long Beach Pride she ever did.
And what did you think? You're like, "Oh, she's good," or you're like,
we were in love with her. I mean, we were absolutely in love with her. We went to see her every Tuesday and Friday night for the whole time she was at the K Sarah.
Come on.
And
has anyone been to the K Sarah? Oh my God, it's about the size of
Ben still has her record back there.
Oh, yeah.
She has a platinum back there?
Oh yeah, we went there a couple of years ago for a fundraiser. It's like, and Melissa's like, "And here's the table, the room where it's like pool." And she said, "And those are the back rooms." I said, I know what happened.
We keep talking about, how like all the lesbian clubs and everything in Los Angeles have died, like there's nothing left. And we keep talking about that we need to have like you guys come and
Melissa
like
put the pulse
try
back
to
in it.
help actually establish something back in LA again, because hello, it's Los Angeles.
Yeah.
There's no lesbian clubs. What?
I moved in '92 and there was the Palm, right?
I know the
That
Palms
was
is
it.
gone.
Yeah.
The Palms is gone. The only thing we've got left is Executive Suite, which is like hanging on by a thread.
We got to work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was going to say, to be honest, to see the excitement in her, to know her as excited as she was in the 80s when it was all coming together, and then when she got cancer and seeing all that, and last night was so nice to see the fire in her eyes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wasn't she badass? Okay, so speaking of Melissa, one of the greatest parts about being married to her are the people I get to meet, right? I feel like sometimes I tell people I'm married to Santa Claus. And I'm just on a magical mystery tour, right? And so part of it are these beautiful people we meet, which I'm going to be able to share with you guys today. And we have an amazing lineup, okay? I'm just going to tell you, it's NASA Day, okay? I'm a big NASA geek. Me and Melissa, we love NASA. So we are going to have music. We're going to talk about NASA. We're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about CBD. What a great talk show this is going to be today, right? And so today, we're going to shake it up a little bit. You remember on Johnny Carson, you had Ed McMahon?
Oh yeah.
Well, my Ed McMahon today is the amazing and the wonderful. You ready, Lucy? Here she comes. I'm gonna stretch this out. I didn't give you a heads up. We fell in love with this woman in Europe because she just opened for Melissa, and this is the amazing Lucy Spraggan.
Okay, cool.
Do you want to just sit and strum with me for a minute, or talk first?
I'm totally down for whatever.
Okay.
I'll bring this over just next to me, just in case.
Okay, perfect.
I can play first, but it's at 9 o'clock in the morning,
It's a little early.
so no one can judge me.
Now, the reason this all works with NASA Day is Lucy has a new song called
Lucky Stars.
Right? And have you guys seen the video yet? It's spectacular. She's what? Is it London? Is that where you shot
It
it?
was Bolton, actually, which is nowhere you will ever have heard of, so I could say it was anywhere.
And tell everyone what you're wearing in the video.
A full spacesuit. I was an astronaut for the day.
So, not only are you an astronaut for today, you're going to sing this song. We have an astronaut in the house here with us. Yes, we do. That's Charlie over there. Can you see Charlie? He's going to come talk. Yeah. And we have another NASA surprise. We have so many. I'm so excited about today. I'm so geeking out. So you're going to hang with me as I'm talking to everybody. But I think you should start. Let's start with a song.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And while you're setting up, you can tell them your favorite parts about me.
The kindest person I've ever met in my life. Absolutely, and I mean that.
We were on a double-decker bus all through Europe. It was so much fun. And I just got to mother her to death. So.
Bear with me. So this song, I married my wife 3 years ago, and we bought a house in the same year. Big mistake, lots of stress. And we bought one of those houses that people call like a fixer-upper. Don't do that. I used to be a plumber before I was a musician.
What? You didn't share that?
Yeah, I used to be a plumber.
Amazing.
So I was like, we moved into this broken house, I was like, I can fix all of this. Yeah, it was stressful.
How are we doing? Can you see us okay? Do you need some lights here? Or how are we doing?
What's the light on her? Yeah.
Got a little light, maybe?
So yeah, I was really stressed, and I feel like I was quite hot-headed, and sometimes, and you know what songwriters do when they're really, really sorry? They write a song, and it makes everything okay. And this song is about that house. This song is called Home Wasn't Built in a Day. Put on your worst jeans and meet me in the living room. I have a bottle of red wine that's waiting for you. Let's sit on the floorboards and put on some tunes, argue about what kind of wallpaper we will use. We waited a long time for this, and now we are on our way. We have to be patient, dear, 'cause home wasn't built in a day. I'm feeling that it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's dance in the kitchen, a night on the tiles, so we can feel something that we haven't felt in a while. Let's put up that picture of you and our friends, then discover that bastard boiler is broken again. We waited a long time for this, and now we are on our way. We have to be patient, dear, 'cause home wasn't built in a day. This is a sing-along bit, so now I'm putting you to the test at 9 o'clock in the morning. It goes like this. La, 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 la. It's really easy. Lazy songwriter, really. 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. Sounds good, but I know you can do it louder. 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. Not easy, is it? One last time. La 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 la. I love your accents. We're hoping for good times. We've been hanging horseshoes. I can tell you that there's no room for sadness under this roof. We filled it with music and plants we've grown. Maybe one day we could share this space with some kids of our own. We waited a long time for this, and now we are on our way. We have to be patient, dear, 'cause Home wasn't built in a day.
So I don't know if you've seen Lucy. You have to spread the word because she just reminds me so much of Melissa. You know, such an amazing heart and a beautiful songwriter. And I'm just so happy you're here. I feel so guilty for getting you up so early. I'm like, ooh, those are high notes, but I don't have to sing.
I don't know why I chose the song with loads of high notes in it, but no, I mean Melissa and Linda have been the kindest people to me, honestly, that I've ever been around. And like, it's so interesting. I've met so many people. They say don't meet your heroes, like, because it's dangerous. There's been so many people that I've met and then got home, got their album, and been like, whoa. You never know what you're gonna get, and I was just completely overwhelmed by both of them, and they're amazing people. So I'm thankful.
You're amazing. So we love you. And what's great is because it's NASA Day, you're going to have a lot of questions and CBD questions perhaps.
Yes.
So you're going to hang here with me,
Absolutely.
and we're going to do some more music later. Oh my God, I was telling everyone this is like my own Mike Douglas show. Do you remember that show? I thought it was so great. All I need is a big plant and a microphone. Hello. I used to run home and watch that show every day. So this is like my wish fulfillment. Okay, so here as we move on, one of the I love introducing you guys to people that have been really important in Melissa's life. That there's some heroes that nobody even knows about. And I'm going to bring up the amazing Dayna. Come on up here, and I'm going to introduce you as you're walking up here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dayna Steele. And Dayna, get up here. Thank you for getting up, sir.
I get up at 5 every morning. You people are hikers.
Okay. First of all, I love her voice so much. She is. Dayna is one of the very, very first disc jockeys to ever play Melissa. Okay, this goes back in Houston. How many years ago?
Well, when did Bring Me Some Water? 1988. I was at KLOL in Houston, one of the top 3 rock stations in the country, and I was the music director. And every week, record guys would bring in, and it was always record guys. Record guys would bring in, you know, I'd have to listen to 60 singles every week, and I mean, from the first few notes. You said the words the other night. I said to her, I love how you still watch Melissa when she plays, and you just turned around and went, it fills my soul. The minute I heard the opening notes of Bring Me Some Water, I felt it, and so I took it in. It was my #1 song. I took it into the music meeting, and the male program director and the male assistant program director said, oh, well, we're already playing Pat Benatar and Heart.
And 11 million men.
We have to, there's 12 songs in top rotation, 10 of them have penises, and we have room for maybe 1 or 2 women. And I had to fight for Come to My Window, and I had to fight for Like the Way I Do, I had to fight for similar features. I mean, it was years of that, but I knew I was a dog with a bone on this first single. I was not taking no for an answer.
I was so excited to meet you because Melissa's talked about you for years. I mean, you really are a hero for her because that this is the door that was, these were closed to Melissa back then. And that's why it's so great to have Lucy, which I'm glad you
And
guys
by
got
the
to
way,
meet.
I just gave my card to your wife because I went after I saw her show yesterday.
Right?
I was standing in the back with Melissa's manager Deb, going, "You're an idiot if you don't sign her."
I know!
She, there's just it. There's just it. Listen, you have it. You can't teach it. You can't learn it. I mean, if I had more time and energy, I swear to God, I would manage you, and I would book you in comedy shows and rock shows. She's good. When she plays again, do not miss her. She's
No,
so good.
this woman is such a badass because not only all of that, you just ranked 35th district, right? In
36th
Texas.
district, 11th reddest district in the country. There was probably a bottle or 3 of wine involved.
But
When
we-
somebody said, "Will you run for Congress?" And I went, "Sure."
And the moment we heard, we're like, what do we have to do to help? So we went down to Texas.
Right. Well, I had lost touch with Melissa for like 25 years.
Oh, really? I feel like
25 years. Well, she was still talking about me, and I was still talking about her. You guys were talking to each other.
Right.
And, you get married, there's kids, there's life, there's all of that stuff. And one afternoon, somebody tagged me in a tweet. It was Melissa Etheridge, and she said, "Oh my God, Dayna Steele's running for Congress. I remember her. We all have to help her." And I was like, "Oh my God, Melissa Etheridge is running for Congress." And then David Crosby retweeted it and went, "Oh wow, this is so great. I had no idea." And you need to come to my speech in this room at 1 o'clock on Thursday because you'll get the full story. But I sent David a note and said, "Do you not check your email?" and then I jokingly tweeted and tagged both of them, "Well, you should come to Houston and do a fundraiser for me." And a couple of days later, David Crosby called me. He goes, "Okay, babe, we got a couple of dates for you." And I'm like, "For what?" "Are you coming to town? Are you going on tour?" And he goes, "No, Melissa and I are coming to play." And I think my exact congressional type words were, "Get the fuck out of here." And they played this most amazing fundraiser. Then they did it again for me in a private living room in Los Angeles, about 40 people.
That was awesome.
Oh my gosh, Holly Knight, who
A few
wrote
of you were
Simply
here
the
there,
Best.
right? Weren't you
I
guys?
don't know.
Maybe, okay. But that was amazing.
Holly Knight, who wrote Simply the Best for Tina Turner, which then Melissa and Holly serenaded me at the end.
That was
I'm
cool.
like, my life done then, don't have to do anything else. And then she came back for the general election, and you guys talking about lesbian bars. The Pearl is one of the 5 lesbian bars really left in the United States, and it's this iconic bar in Houston. And she just did the most amazing show there. So.
It was so fun to be there and to meet you and to
And obviously I didn't win because you've seen me drinking and I just said fuck.
But she ran, okay, and she tried, and that meant so much during our crazy. The world's gone a little nutty, but
Yeah,
we're
we gotta
okay.
take care of each
But
other.
that's why we just love and respect. We do anything for you.
And by the way, speaking of love, I do have to set the record straight. Charlie the Wonder Husband over here is not an astronaut. We refer to him as a half-ass.
Okay,
He was on the list to be named an astronaut, and then everybody get ready to go, and then he got a kidney stone. But he flew for NASA for 30 years. He was the captain of the 747 shuttle carrier. We got some really cool 747 patches, but I'm going to use them as bribery. So if you come to my speech at 1 o'clock on Thursday,
And
you
when
know, I spoke yesterday.
and how'd it go?
I was against Melissa Etheridge
Oh,
and
that's
pickleball. So for the 30 people that showed up, I love you. And by the way, marijuana, CBD, CAA people, whatever. I keep asking Melissa to send me the investment papers. Will you send them to me if I give you a card? Thank you very much. I would like to invest in
I'm loving
Etheridge
this
Farms.
morning so much. This is the great. And okay, back to Charlie for a second. Charlie, I want to come over here for a second because
There he
there's
is.
something I really here. I'll come over to you because this is more fun. I need to walk. Here's the thing that I love about you. You remind me so much about me because I saw you that during the campaign. You remind me of me. Of how I am with Melissa, how you are with this. No, but you love
He was my coffee runner.
You love this man loves his wife so much. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I need to pump the brakes just a little bit and back up because what you missed was we knew going in, this woman knew going in how steep the curve was going to be. 11th reddest district, not in Texas, which would have been bad, in the country. Okay, so That was a loss. Now,
NASA and the Klan were in my district. Seriously.
now, remember that we live in Houston. Houston is Democratic, but if we would have given up a huge pie wedge that she took over and she flipped, and because of her and one other gentleman that ran in an adjacent district, we turned 54 judges.
Yeah, we turned the entire judicial bench in Harris County back Democratic. They would perform no marriages in Harris County in the courthouse so that they didn't have to do gay marriage, and we flipped the entire judicial bench. I think my lucky stars all the time, so.
So we're going to be singing that song in a little while, but do you have any questions for Dayna right now? How are we enjoying this? This is my first time we've had a sidekick.
I just feel like at that point back then in the 80s, working as a, how did you get into where you were? Because that's, I mean, even still.
On a dare in college, because I wanted to go out with this DJ. He was like the biggest star I'd ever met. And he was making fun of the new student radio station, so I auditioned. And I never got the date, but the minute I put on the headphones, there's like a, there she is. So the minute I put on the headphones, I just knew I found my passion. Okay, by the way, we have a little audience event that the folks from Six Man are going to help with at the very end of all of this. One of my best girlfriends is on the International Space Station right now, actually dressed like that. And McLean, and so my job is, I sent her elf clothes for her elf on, that stupid elf on a shelf. God, oh God, I miss that when the kids. That's time consuming, but I sent her clothes for her elf, an army shirt and a little NASA shirt.
And is it not, she's a sister, she is a lesbian.
Well, we know, we don't talk about that.
Well, I'm saying that she
Okay,
is.
all right. But anyway, my job is I go around accosting random strangers to hold up signs that say, "Hi, Ann." So they're going to bring us some signs at the end of this, and we're all going to hold them up. You're going to hold them up, and then I'm going to email them to Ann here in a couple of hours up on the space station.
All right, now, so listen, tomorrow you are, let's get this so everyone's here at...
Tomorrow I'm not speaking.
You're not speaking.
Thursday. It's
You're
Tuesday.
having a lot of fun tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm drinking tomorrow. I got a bottle of cava with my name on it.
But
not as much as she drank the other night.
All right, now you're going to help me introduce our buddy.
All right, so David Crosby called me and said, there's a bunch of astronauts who want to come to a show. It's June 3rd, 1990 at the Woodlands. And he said, I don't have time to deal with this. Can you help coordinate it? Yeah, that'd be great. How hard can it be? It's like herding cats. You know, they can find the International Space Station, but the will call window totally escapes them. So, record company got me a limo, and I took all these astronauts. One of the astronauts, her husband was out of town, so she brought this really cute pilot by the name of Charlie Justiz, and I have been Mrs. Charlie Justiz.
Yeah.
We're about 27, 28 years old. I don't know, it's engraved on my ring, so I'll remember. Charlie Justiz, and then
Royce.
And then one of the main people that makes everything work in mission control. We've all seen the iconic mission control, our flight controller, who's got a basketball for some reason, and he's going to
he's going to
that.
do it's an audience participation.
Okay, all
awesome.
right, so
And
Royce and Charlie.
Now, okay, and Royce.
What do you want first?
Oh, Royce, you come on up here. Charlie, you just relax. You guys, okay, so Royce, so Melissa, we got to have the tour of NASA in Houston, and this is the man who runs it right here. And I just, like I said, you have to come to coffee with Linda, because we're going to talk about that. This is Lucy. Have you met yet? You guys kind of know each other, sort of, because she's sort of an astronaut.
I wish I'd known you before, because actually when I was filming the video we had the NASA logo on it and they said we had to take it off. So if I'd have been like, I know this guy, they let me keep it on for the video.
Yeah, I saw one of those NASA logos the other day. Instead of saying NASA across it, it said not flat. And underneath it said we checked.
This beautiful man and his lovely wife, we had the best day. And your daughter was with us too that day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes,
had
she
the
was.
whole family. And we we got to go on the whole. It's the training for the astronaut. This is what they work on, right?
Yeah, they got the Cook's tour of NASA. They went in what's called Building 9, the shuttle mock-up facility, their station mock-up facility, where all the astronauts go to train. Oh, there you go. So when y'all come down to Houston, just give me a holler. I'll take you on the same.
I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing ever.
One of the interesting things that we do for the VIPs that come through is we have an opportunity for them to sign a hatch. And Melissa decided to sign it. There's actually a window in the middle of the hatch. She signed it. Comes my window. It was awesome.
But the greatest thing was then a few minutes later, we're going through, and all of a sudden, Royce hands Melissa the phone and goes, "Oh, Melissa, you got a call." And she looks at the phone, and didn't it say outer space?
No, it said space calling.
Space calling. And it was an astronaut calling from Melissa. She rarely gets freaked out. That made her life.
It was Jack Fisher.
Have you guys mentioned? Yeah.
I had sent him an email. He was on, I don't remember when y'all were there, a couple years ago, but he was on station. I sent him an email because Melissa had posed with his cutout that was standing there, and I sent him that picture. I said, "Hey, we're still in Building 9. If you want to call her, give her a call." And we were actually in the mock-up of the module where his crew quarters were, and he was sitting in the crew quarters reading email, called. And the trick is sometimes the reception, as you can imagine, is not necessarily perfect. So sometimes I'll answer my phone and say hello a couple times and then hang up, and then my crew members would call me back and say, "Will you quit hanging up on me?" So I changed all the names to say space calling so I don't hang up on my crew members. And then Jack told Melissa that one of his favorite songs was "Come to My Window," so she had an opportunity to sing that for him while we were sitting there. And it was awesome for both.
And he sent us a picture of Melissa's picture on the window of where they were. I mean, she freaked out. It was so... And his lovely wife, because that was her favorite song too.
Yep.
And then they came to a concert later. So that was just the thrilling. And okay, again, I just want the world to embrace NASA. I love NASA. Turn off the news. I'm telling you, turn off the news and turn on the NASA channel. Any time of day. Any time of day, it will make you happy to see what the best in humans do is NASA, okay? And that's why I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so excited for you with the basketball and what you're going to teach us.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, or anything else you want to tell us.
Well, so I have to, every time I mention to somebody on this cruise that I work for NASA, I always get the same question. So I would like to correct some records.
Please.
That are not.
There might be rumors I'm spreading, so go.
A lot of media attention about the fact that Anne McLean and Christina Cook were going to go do a spacewalk. The suit you were wearing is an EMU mock-up, so extravehicular mobility unit, if you want to get the acronym correct. You want to write that down? Why didn't Anne and Christina go do a spacewalk? And can't you just go get another spacesuit out of the hamper or whatever? There are 14 extra vehicular mobility units that have ever been made. Spacesuits, 14 of them. 11 of them are still in service. They cost about $250 million a piece.
A piece?
A piece. There are 2 large suits on the vehicle, and there are 2 medium suits on the vehicle. Anne went out in the first EVA with another gentleman named Nick Hague, and they did a spacewalk to replace some batteries on the space station. And she was wearing the medium suit, and Nick was wearing the large suit, and when she came back in, she realized that if she had to step up to the large suit, which she had trained for in Houston and thought she could wear, that she did not think that she could execute the EVA successfully.
So it was her call.
So it was absolutely her call, in coordination with, when they say managers on the ground, they're talking about me. So if you want to know what actually happened, you can run me down and ask me. The conversation that occurred, she did not think she would be successful. She thought she could do a lot of the things, but it was going to be a real struggle for her. So Anne, Lieutenant Colonel Anne McLean, Air Force, flown in combat, helicopter pilot, regular badass chick, said, "Don't send me out. I can't do it. If you're going to send Christina out, don't send me, send Nick." So she took herself off the spacewalk. She made the call. We were all in agreement. None of the stuff you hear in the news.
So many rumors about how could they not let these women walk. It's like, no, stop. She made the call. So
we do 3 very dangerous things with our crew members. We launch them, we land them, we send them out to do a spacewalk. We take that very seriously. Everything that they do outside is extremely dangerous. They're traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. If you get hit by a paint chip when you're traveling 17,500 miles an hour, it will penetrate the
all right, now Royce, that's in my head. Now that's forever in my head about the paint chip.
Yeah. So it's very dangerous.
Okay,
we take care of our crew. We're not going to send them out there to do something that they're not going to be successful at. So, and if you don't believe me, you can follow Ann on Twitter.
She has a great Twitter. Yeah. And there's even there's a Twitter handle of who's in space now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. So I'm telling you, it will make your day if you can dip a little NASA every day. That's my
I
new.
love that they can upload pictures from space, and we're on the Norwegian Pearl. We can't get on YouTube.
Anyway, so y'all are now my ambassadors to go out and make sure
Yes,
that
ambassadors.
story gets correct.
Yes.
Because it's not correct. And now I can do it.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what's this about?
Okay.
Do you want me to hold that for you, or are you?
You can hold it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you turn the lights down just a little bit? I had asked previously if we could do that.
So you're going to show us that the world's not flat?
I'm going to prove to you that the world's not flat. Okay, and then this is the audience participation section of the event, so I need 2 volunteers. Who's going to help me? You were kind enough to hold it for me, so you can come do this, and you get to be the sun today.
Are you the sun?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you can't. Okay, here.
I'm holding?
Where? Okay. Yes, that would be awesome if you did. Because I'm kind of handicapped today. So, you're the sun. You get to be the sun. I don't think that one's wrong.
Okay.
Can you bring the lights down just a little bit more? Is that possible? Okay. So that's perfect. So you're the sun. Stand right about there, and then put the flashlight about this height. So bring it down and shine it at the world. And then we're going to assume that the little white guy right here is us on the pearl. It's white. So right now the sun is shining on us because you can look out the window and see that it's light. Yes. But earlier this morning we were over here where it was dark.
Okay.
Right? Can everybody see that it's actually dark on the label there? Yes? Now the space station lives, let's see how to do this, above the Earth at
Here, does it help if I hold it?
250 miles up or 400 kilometers up. So the trick is, if you're all the way over here, you can see that there's no light on the space station at all. And as it comes around, it's still dark on the Pearl, but do you see the lights slowly starting to appear on the space station? And then eventually we get over here where the Pearl is in the light and the space station is in the light itself, yes? So we can use that principle, thank you, if you want to hang on to that for me for a few minutes. And then if you can bring the lights back up, then you can have a seat if you want. Thank you. Yep.
All right.
Everybody grab your phone right quick and write this down as a website you want to go to.
Oh.
So if you go to tap dance, while everybody gets their phone out. www.spotthestation, so it's 3 words all jammed together into one, so no spaces, no dots. spotthestation.nasa.gov, and make sure you put gov, not com, because it's a government agency. So www.spotthestation.nasa.gov. When you go there, it'll ask you to put in what your terrestrial address is, where you live or where you're staying.
Or what species you are,
Or what species you are.
or anything. Okay.
If you're on Pluto or somewhere, it's got to be somewhere on the Earth.
Uh-huh.
and a means to contact you. So if they give them an email address or a text message, NASA will send you a notice that says, if you go outside at this time and look in this direction, you will see the space station fly over.
Okay, that's so cool.
But you have to remember my demonstration here, because if you think about it, the only time you're going to be able to see it is early in the morning or just at dusk. So if you're going to go out and it says go out in the morning and watch it, be sure you check the weather, because if it's cloudy, you won't be able to see it. And I would also recommend that you don't try to go see a pass that's less than 2 minutes long. So it'll tell you, you'll be able to see it for 6 minutes, it'll start in this direction, it'll have this elevation, it'll leave this direction. That would be a great pass.
Come on.
The only thing I would ask you to remember when you watch it fly over, and you'll be able to see it because it's really moving fast. How fast is it going?
Really fast.
17,000.
Yes.
500
miles an hour.
Yeah, I checked, and the Pearl travels about
4 miles.
not that fast. You'll be able to distinguish it from an airplane because it's moving really fast. I would ask you to remember it's not just a dot of light, it's actually 6 humans who represent you guys that are flying over. And if you like it, tell your Congress to.
And this is oh, yeah, you have a question?
No, I just want to say we are from Germany, and Alexander Gerst,
Yeah.
Space Alex,
Yeah.
he twittered a lot, and he sent just the most wonderful pictures of the Earth from above.
Aren't they gorgeous?
And he was just amazing with his Twitter account.
And like in the German news, like the main news, he made a live phone call to the main German news. He's like huge in Germany, like everybody's like really...
Can you imagine being so drunk with power in space? Hey, I'm going to call. I mean, that's awesome. That's such beautiful things you can do. That's amazing.
It is the I in International Space Station. One of the greatest things we'll be able to look back on what the space station did is at the end of the Cold War, the Russians and the Americans got together with our European counterparts and our friends from Canada and our Japanese friends who we were at war with previously, built a laboratory in space, and we all worked together. We all try to stay underneath the politics and the news, and we work together because we're trying to support our crew. It's 6 people on board today. There are 2 Russians, 3 Americans, and 1 Canadian astronaut, and they just swapped out.
So much that I'm going to dedicate a song to you right
Sweet.
now that our friend Lucy's going to
I had a couple of questions.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Strange questions.
Sure.
Well, I have 2. One is like, obviously we were just talking about what the world looks like from space, and that's like quite profound. And what's the most profound piece of information or something that an astronaut has said when they come back down? Because that must be really
That's a great question.
Yeah, so I would offer it's a life-changing event. It actually is. If you want to follow someone who has the gift of language, there's an astronaut named Doug Wheelock. He's Astro Wheels on Astro_Wheels on Twitter. But Doug is always very, very profound when he's talking. But I think the most interesting thing that all of the crew members say that when they come back from Earth come back to Earth is that when you look down on the ground, you can't see any borders. Right? They do not exist.
My other question was, when I watch a film or a movie about music and they're not actually playing the guitar, I'm like, oh, they're not playing the guitar for real. So when you watch a space film, and you're like watching it thinking, that's not even a real button on a rocket. Do that.
My wife is hysterically laughing back there. So what I try to do, and what most folks out there are some people who actually come out there and spend time with the flight controllers and the people that work at NASA to try to get the film correct. Like the film The Martian, how many of you have seen it?
Where Matt Damon flies in a garbage bag up in space?
That's not so much, right? But the stuff on the ground is actually pretty good. So the trick is that I just try to suspend reality and enjoy the story.
Yeah.
And then not worry about the fact that you can't actually get into an EMU, which you know what it means now. and that quick unless you want to die of the bends.
No, I don't.
No.
No.
Do you want to know why you would die of the bends?
Okay.
Sure, because I know you have more people you want to bring. Y'all know what the bends is, right? It's tight, and you come up from diving too fast. You get that because you're at a higher pressure below when you come up. The pressure on your body releases, excuse me, and the nitrogen in your bloodstream turns to gas, boils out, it gives you a stroke and you die.
My 12-year-old son would love that. He'd go, oh, it's so cool.
When we send the astronauts outside to do the spacewalk, they go effectively from the same thing. The pressure inside the station is 14.2 psi. It's the same thing you are all experiencing right now at sea level. There's the weight of air pushing down on you is 14.7 pounds per square inch.
I knew that.
Yeah. But if you send a crew member out into the vacuum of space and their spacesuit was pressurized at 14.7 psi, they would not be able to move. They look like the little kid in Christmas Story.
Right.
I can't put, and then they would also not be able to do any work. So we actually have to put them out at a much lower pressure, about 4.6 psi. So to take them from 14.7 to 4.6 psi is just like coming up from 80 feet down and underneath and coming up. You can't do it instantaneously, or the nitrogen in their blood would boil out and kill them. So they do things like breathe pure oxygen for a number of hours, and we take them down slowly, et cetera, et cetera. Make
So
sure
this
they're
is
all-
important for them to know today if you guys go to land and you do some fun things. Just keep this in mind. You don't want anybody...
No death.
No death.
That wouldn't be bad.
Royce, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. And now, this is going to do a song just for you. Okay? And then you guys are going to come up, okay? I love this.
Have you lost your back?
I know, my batch keeps falling off. Gravity.
Put it on your guitar.
I should. My spacesuit that I hired for the video shoot, it wasn't real. But there'd been a lot of people in that suit. And not a lot of dry cleaning going on, I think. So you can see certain parts of the video if you watch it when we get back to where you can watch YouTube, like in space. You'll see some interesting faces that I made.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's me smiling because I'm like, I'm going to smile or be sick. It's not like an old sock.
Where do you put your cell phone? In this
Wait, I gotta get a picture to send to Ann.
That's where the badge is.
There you go. There you go.
There's quite a lot of references to space in this song, and I did do a bit of research when I wrote it, but now I feel under pressure. The song is called Lucky Stars. On the ceiling in my bedroom, they would glow up in the dark. I had no idea that you and I were still light years apart. Well, stars don't look like that, at least they don't to me. As I grew older, I noticed less and less the darkest nights are when the sky can really look its best. And that's when I saw you, as bright as you could be. I thank my lucky stars that I discovered you, like the first man on the moon, but you came out the blue. I thank my lucky stars that you're so close to me, like Venus and Mercury, from the darkness to the deep. I thank my lucky stars. Oh, 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 oh. I thank my lucky stars. Oh, 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 oh. Typical of me, I run before I walk. I'm on the moon without my suit, the world's worst astronaut. I'll just float with you in zero gravity. It's our adventure, it's only just begun, and you and I can find some time to orbit round the sun. And I am never scared, as long as you're with me. I thank my lucky stars mercury, from the darkness to the deep. I thank my lucky stars. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I thank my lucky stars. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Take my hand, prepare for takeoff. Don't look down, prepare for takeoff. Take my hand, prepare for takeoff. Prepare for takeoff. I thank my lucky stars that I discovered you, like the first man on the moon, but you came out the blue. I thank my lucky stars that you're so close to me, like Venus and Mercury, from the darkness to the deep. I thank my lucky stars. Oh, 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 oh. I thank my lucky stars. Oh, 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 oh.
Let's get the song up there, because has anyone ever rhymed astronaut? Never. Right? Amazing. Oh, so good. All right, our last guest, and this is going to be fun. Jozee Cricket. Come up here. You guys might have seen Jozee Cricket with us. These are our amazing, beautiful, dear friends and partners in the medicine. Get up, grab a mic. Hi. So, these two are the reason that we are doing Etheridge Farms, and these two. I don't even know where to start with you two. How do we start? And then we're going to ask, and then we're going to get to some few questions, and we might, we've got like 10 minutes. We might have to keep doing this every day because I know everybody has so many questions. But they just have the most amazing story. I'm going to let you start to tell, and then I'll just jump in.
Okay. Is this on?
No.
Maybe you turn it off.
There it is.
Okay, there. This is weird that we have mics because we usually see each other all day long, but we don't have mics. So this is fun. Now we have mics.
What is the question?
Oh. I know it's early. They're just. I can tell you their whole story, and we'll keep. They are, and you know Melissa, and you know that nothing will be done unless it's authentic. And these are the hearts in a crazy business that we've been exploring for the last 15 years, way before it was anyone was talking about it. And these two are our Northern Lights. They are beautiful parents and beautiful humans, and we all, just the four of us, are Etheridge Farms. So, and what I want to just jump into right now is I know there's some basic questions that everyone has. So let's start with CBD, okay? Let's start with that.
Okay, that's a real big thing right now. And there's mass confusion going on in the marketplace. So one of the biggest issues is that the feds declared that the plant is hemp if it has less than 0.03 THC in it. But science says the cannabis ruderalis plant, there's cannabis sativa plants, there's cannabis indica plants, and most of what you see out there that we use and we smoke or for medicine is cannabis indica or cannabis sativa. Cannabis ruderalis has been grown with big, thick stalks, mostly seeds, scraggly buds you would never touch. And it's grown for fiber and seeds for oil. So what happened is, we're a really creative industry, and we decided, if we grow cannabis sativa, really high CBD like we've been doing, it has less than 0.03 THC, it's hemp. Yay, it's hemp now. So there's a lot of confusion. There is mulch from China coming that is hemp, that doesn't have medicinal value, that has a lot of pesticides. That's hemp too, yay. So we don't really know, what are we getting on all these shelves? Unless you're in the regulated cannabis industry within each state and license, and they have a testing protocol that you're required to do, then you can disclose, hey, I'm not using pesticides, I'm not using harmful solvents that aren't being, reclaimed properly that can harm you. You really don't know what you're getting. So you're getting everything off the board. You're getting some that really doesn't have anything in it or has such trace amounts, or you're getting real medicine.
And but to be fair,
or what is CBD?
Yeah.
So
to be fair, we just passed the farm bill in D.C. that legalized hemp for the United States farmers. But that's a really gray area right now. They still have to work on regulations, and they're looking to the FDA to start lifting their status on it and developing some sort of regulatory protocol for it. And that's years out, at least a year. And when it comes to regulators catching up to what culture is doing, it can take a really long time. They have to be educated. They're within a little bubble of their own, and it takes a lot of advocates going out and communicating with them. Luckily, we're really connected with a lot of advocacy, and we do it ourselves. And Melissa, we have her for that.
And you have me. I'm going to pretend I'm Oprah right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So part of what our passion about what we're doing, and you guys can answer some questions, is people come up and say, well, I smoked pot in college, or maybe crazy. I'm like, oh gosh, no. You got that from your brother's friend Gary, and where did he get it, right? So cannabis is really important plant medicine, and that's why, again, you're seeing Melissa is 15 years cancer-free, and the only medicine, we do not use pharmaceuticals in her house. I mean, for those of you who saw my show, Nurse Jackie, it was about opioids before anyone was talking about it. Okay, so we're really passionate about this, because we are women now that have a new choice to buy medicine for our families, right? And so we're hoping at Etheridge Farms is this place you're going to come, and mothers who are women, we are 85% of all points of purchase, okay? You're going to go in, I'm going to buy some for a topical, for my arthritis. My son might have some ADD issues. My husband might have MS. So this is it's a whole new conversation, and we're thrilled to start having this with you guys. And we want to help educate you guys. Like most people, like explaining to my mom going, well, your father's gonna get just stoned if he puts on that topical. I go, mother, no, he's not. Oh my God. And I don't like how it smells. And the marijuana, I go, first of all, here's the thing, we don't say marijuana. Marijuana is a slang. It was way back when, probably way before, was it Nixon, who knows, who came up with a word to scare people. Okay, it's cannabis. That's why we never use the word marijuana. So it's cannabis. So CBD and THC, those are the two main parts, right? How would you, if you had to explain?
Well, the doctors are still catching up to the fact that we have an endocannabinoid system in our body.
Yes, we do. Didn't know that,
and
did you?
that the cannabis plant has over 80, it keeps moving, but the number, many different cannabinoids, and we have receptors that accept that into our body. And the most popular one that was identified by an Israeli scientist, we call him the grandfather of the cannabis industry, Dr. Meshulam, he discovered THC and then later discovered CBD. And he named CBD Anandamide, after the word Ananda, which in Sanskrit means pure bliss. Because he said that was the only word he could find that represents what CBD expresses when you take it. And it is considered a non-psychoactive, but some doctors do think that it actually subtly alters your energy. It's a mood enhancer. It's an anti-inflammatory. So when we find
anti-inflammatory is so important, especially for us women. Because come on, let's be honest, everything is about inflammation, right?
Yeah. And it's the root of all disease.
It's the root of all disease, right? And so what these two have helped me understand, again, with the cannabinoid receptors, if you break your arm and you have pain and you take a painkiller, you still have pain, but your brain tells you, I don't have pain, right? That's what opioids do. If you break and you don't take a pill and you do a cannabis or a tincture, that's the other thing that we're trying to tell them. They're amazing we make tinctures. They're not just smoking. A lot of people don't want to smoke. You take the cannabis, it goes right to your cannabinoid receptor and gets rid of the pain. It doesn't have to go through your brain. So that's the other thing I tell my mom. It's a gateway drug. No, Mom. Oh my God. No, it's not. It's actually an exit drug. Like, let's get off. Well, I'll think about it. I don't know. So what I'm excited about is we're just starting the conversation, and you're going to see us on the boat. So any questions you have, and I know we ran out of time today, so you're coming back again tomorrow. Sorry, that's the deal. But before we have a few more minutes, but does anyone have, again, I know this is a brand new conversation, any questions?
We're from Alaska, and so this has just got started in Fairbanks, Alaska. And that's what I'm looking for is the tincture, because I do not smoke. But it seems like that I have used the CBD, in the high, like 1,400 milligram range and have not gotten any relief, but yet Jane has taken in the same milligram and has gotten relief. So I'm waiting for it.
A pure CBD? Or is it a...
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's,
So same product? Same product works on her and same
Yes.
product doesn't work on you?
yes.
And it could be that it's nerve related and maybe it's what, you know, her ailment is different than yours. So it's not a cure-all. It's not a cure-all, and maybe you need a different strain, a different ratio.
I was
Maybe you
thinking
need more
with the
THC.
strain.
Yeah, and so it's about finding what works for you, and it's bringing us back to our own intuition, our own inner guidance to guide us to what we need, and it's a very individual process.
I'd like to speak to the cannabinoid aspect of it. Like each flower or plant has its own profile of molecules or general makeup. So each plant's going to have a different composition, and how your body relates to that will be individualized. So that's the beauty of herbalism and cannabis in general. Is we have a real opportunity to approach our health and well-being from a very individualized perspective, where you get in touch and in tune with who you are and how you respond to plants, versus this one pill cures all. So we got a real opportunity.
Like when Melissa was going through cancer, it blew our mind that nobody was talking about what she should be eating. And what about, well, they're giving you this pill for this other pill because this will help you, and all the pharmaceuticals, and God bless Melissa, she helped me. I watched her go, wait a minute, why am I doing this? And the doctor said, well, it'll increase your 5% chance. And she went, I'm done. And she actually quit chemo early, okay? And she just started eating right, and water, and that's the other thing, we are passionate, because we love you guys, right? Please drink more water. Please drink more water. She's changed my life with the water. All we do is drink water. It's so easy. We take 3 of those big things at least a day. And if you're going to have an alcoholic beverage or coffee, double your water. We take better care of our pets and our cars than ourselves. And as women, I'm telling you, we put everyone first, right? And this is a big part of it, a plant spirit. These 2 beautiful humans have 7 children and 2 grandchildren, okay? Wow. And they look like they're 30, right? Okay, this is what healthy eating is. I know, right? Oh, and who's here? Do we have? Oh, and there's 2 of their boys right there, who I love, and I'm their favorite. And we just love this family so much, and we're thrilled, and thank you for being open. I know this can be a tricky conversation, but I want us to start having it. And any questions, if you see these guys on the boat, we're going to have more questions tomorrow. Let's start talking about it, because we see people with, again, you don't have to take really harsh chemicals to help get better, okay? And we're seeing it go over, yes.
When is Etheridge Farms going to go national?
Yeah, right? Okay, it has been such a long process, because it's not, it's all on a local, it's such a, you guys have been fighting this fight for...
It's the feds, really. It's about opening the borders, and that's been a huge process that politically we've been working on the last 6 years, really hardcore, with organizations, our local congressmen, you know, definitely getting involved. Everybody needs to get involved and speak to their local assembly members, their congress members, their state senators, their local supervisors or city council, and just express that you think this is okay. And the more they hear that, the more they're going to vote on these bills. Every session, there's new bills coming through, and everything that passes is just getting us closer to business.
So we're getting close, and we believe that Melissa is the face of cannabis. Not only is the world's greatest guitar player a middle-aged woman, but she's also the face of this plant spirit. So, okay, you guys are going to come back. We're out of time, but you guys, this was amazing. This went by so fast. I hope you had fun. Lucy, come out here. Make sure you guys, if you haven't seen Lucy yet, oh wait, we have to do this for Anne. Oh yeah. So how does this work then?
I don't know. Just pass them out kind of at random.
And then we'll take a quick picture?
And then we'll take a picture. Okay, somebody help me. I'm very slow at this.
Everyone on stage.
Just hold them up in the audience.
Or should we shoot this way, right?
Sort of passed out. If you didn't get a guitar pick, this wonderful lady with the Canada hat has a pocket full of guitar picks too. We'll just get anybody wants to come down and be in the picture that's going to space?
Are we shooting this way?
Yeah, I'll get up here and take a picture. She doesn't need a picture of me.
Get in here.
Anybody who wants to be in the space picture? Where's Lucy?
Mia.
Lucy needs to be in front with your space.
All right, no, you guys
Where's
have
your
to shoot this
sticker?
way, so stay here. Stay here.